All right, everyone, let's talk about the Juniper JNCIP. If you're going for this certification, you already know it's a big deal. So today, we're going to cut right through all the noise and build a really clear, strategic blueprint to get you from day one all the way to that finish line. Let's dive in. When you first look at all the exam objectives, it can feel like you're staring up at this massive mountain. It's totally normal to feel a little overwhelmed and think, where do I even begin? But hey, just like any climb, success comes down to having a good map, knowing your path, and just taking it one step at a time. So, our first step is simply to decode what we're actually up against. The JNCIP isn't just another certification to hang on the wall. Nope, it's a statement. It tells the world you've hit that professional level of expertise inside the Juniper world. Now, here's the first thing you absolutely have to get. There is no single JNCIP exam. It's actually a collection of different specializations. Think of it like a mountain range with multiple peaks. Each peak represents a different area of networking mastery. And that makes your very first decision the most important one. Which summit are you going to conquer? So, let's figure that out. This next part is all about matching your career goals with the right JNCIP track. We're going to break down the main options so you can see exactly where you fit in this picture. Think of this slide as your cheat sheet. It's a quick, at-a-glance guide to the main JNCIP tracks. You can see the big four right there: service provider, enterprise, data center, and security. You can see what they focus on and the key tech you'll need to master. This is basically the trailhead map for your big climb. First up, we've got the JNCIP SP. This track is for the people who are literally building the internet itself. If you're working for an ISP or a huge carrier, this is your world. You're going to be mastering the heavy hitters like BGP and MPLS, basically building the superhighways that all of our data travels on. Next is the JNCIP ENT. This one's all about building those super robust networks for big corporations, universities, maybe hospitals. Here, you'll be mastering routing with OSPF and BGP and making sure everything is resilient with things like virtual chassis. Your job is to make sure that organization's IT backbone never, ever fails. Then we get to the really cutting-edge stuff, the JNCIP DC. This is all about modern data centers and the cloud. The heart of this track is mastering these powerful technologies like EVPN-VXLAN to build out massive, scalable IP fabrics. If you're building the infrastructure that powers pretty much every app we use today, this is your mountain to climb. And finally, we have JNCIP SEC. This track is for the guardians of the network. You're going to go deep on Juniper's SRX firewalls, master advanced threat prevention, build complex VPNs, and ensure total uptime with chassis clustering. You are the shield that protects the network. Okay, so now that you've hopefully picked your path, you need a map. Forget about just aimlessly wandering through thousands of pages of documentation. We're going to lay out a proven 3-step blueprint. This is going to be your compass to get you to the summit. And it really is this simple. First, you build your foundation with the theory. Second, you get your hands dirty with tons of lab work. And third, you develop what I like to call the Junos mindset. Let's break down each one of these. Step 1 is theory. Look, you simply cannot configure what you don't understand. It's impossible. Your journey has to start with the official curriculum. Head over to Juniper Open Learning. It's free, which is awesome, for the structured courses. Then, make the Juniper TechLibrary your absolute best friend. For every single concept, read the official guide. It is the source of truth. Now, the theory is your map, for sure, but it's not where you're going to spend most of your time, not even close. As this slide says, the most important step, the place where you'll spend the vast majority of your time, is all about hands-on practice. And there's the magic number, 70%. You should plan for 70%, maybe even more, of your total study time to be spent with your hands on a command line, building, breaking, and fixing things in a lab. This is where the real learning happens, and it's completely non-negotiable for success. And the best part? You don't need a rack full of expensive hardware. All you need is a virtual lab environment like EVNG or GNS3. Just get the virtual Junos images that match your track, VSRX for security, VMX for service provider, vQFX for data center, and just start building. Honestly, the act of creating your own labs from scratch is a huge learning tool all by itself. This brings us to what I think is the secret sauce, the learn, lab, break, fix cycle. For every single topic on the exam, First, you learn the theory. Second, you build it in your lab until it works perfectly. Third, and this is the most critical part, you intentionally break it. Shut down an interface, mess up a policy, do whatever it takes. And then you fix it. I promise you the knowledge you get from troubleshooting your own mistakes is what really, truly sticks. The final step is all about developing that Junos mindset. It's about reaching fluency. It means mastering the command line so it's second nature. Knowing show/display set to see your config, using rollback without even thinking, and always using commit check. And most importantly, it means learning to love trace options. That is your #1 superpower for deep troubleshooting.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've looked at the different paths and we've got our 3-step blueprint. So what does this whole journey really mean for you as a professional?
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. This entire process, it's not about cramming facts and memorizing commands just so you can pass the test. No way. It's a system for building deep, practical, real-world skills. Following this blueprint won't just make you a certificate holder, it's going to make you a genuine Juniper professional who's ready for any challenge that comes your way.
So there you have it. The map is in your hands. You know the terrain, and you have a step-by-step plan to make the ascent. The only question left is the one that kicks off this entire adventure. Which summit are you going to conquer first?